Climbing the stairway to heaven. Here we go. Walking the road of ecstasy. Taking the load of this old world off our shoulders. The door is wide open for you. The door is open for me. Here we go. Still in a moment of pleasure. You and I, we're gonna find the pirate's treasure. Here we go. Oh, baby. Here we go. Climbing the stairway to heaven. Climbing the stairway to heaven. And we're going step by step. Together, step by step. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Here we go. Oh, baby. Here we go. Stairway to heaven. Right on high. Stairway to heaven. And we're going step by step. Together, step by step. Oh, we're gonna be together. Just me and you. Put your head on my shoulder. Lean closer and we're finding. Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go? We'll go out and we're gonna find it. In our own little corner of the world, our own little spot. It'll be me and you. Come on. Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go? I said, baby, it's gonna be just like going on heaven. Sweet like heaven. Nice like heaven. Ooh, 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 ooh. Still in a moment. Still in a moment of pleasure. Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go? Just put your hand in mine. Talking about heaven right here
Thank you,
on earth.
OJ. Thank you. I'm gonna start off by saying thank you. Huh? Because I'm talking about the electrical warps and whatever is going on. Got me all discombobulated. My whole face looking must be some kind of way. Because my daughter is like, you sure we don't need to take you to the ER? You sure, mommy? No, I can deal with it. Let me drag a little bit. Let me go ahead and drag, huh? I am not ready yet because I know when I go in there, I may not make it out from the hospitality. Huh? I might not, might be my last time. ER is a danger sign. Thank you, OJ. Stairway. Look. Me and Bart had some conversations. I wanted to learn more about what's going on with Elon jumping through these stargates. He did the last seal. I'm assuming that's the last seal. See, I'm going by my intuition. That was the last rope right there. Maybe there's a couple of more I don't know about. I may have to look into it. I wasn't able to stop them. I couldn't respond in the chat to the people. They didn't have no chat open on SpaceX like they normally do. I put it in my community post. Stop their engines. I didn't see where to go to DevOps to get emails sent in time. Stop your engine. Stop what you're doing. I did a report through YouTube. I know they talking, YouTube and Google. I'm going to tell you how much Google talking right now. I did a report. I said what they is doing is causing harm and danger. I did the flag on SpaceX. Had me upset. That's a whole clock right there. Look at these. These the updated. This is like a Rolex right here. The other ports, some of them look like old-fashioned. The other Stargates, some of them look like old-fashioned clocks. I done went and started looking at the different landing strips and ports that are located all over. I'm not saying other people haven't done it. They done did it already, but I've never done it. And when I went looking at the towers, that's not fiberglass. They say that's fiberglass. Wouldn't it melt if it was fiberglass? Huh? That look like crystals and stuff to me. That look like crystals, or I know it ain't mirrors. What fiberglass has the? Wait a minute, am I doing a bunch of talking and not being heard? Oh, I'm being heard. Which fiberglass? Am I sharing the screen? I'm not sharing the screen though. Which fiberglass has the durability to withstand the heat that comes from the rocket? Uh, See, it looks too animated from here, from Google, but I don't think that's fiberglass. That's what they say, but I don't think that's fiberglass, y'all. When did they redo them and develop them? Monoliths and all that, and different stargates that don't work anymore, but these right here working. And they working because of Google 23 and me and YouTube and AI. Huh? See, that don't look like no fiberglass. Even in its animation, that don't look like fiberglass. It couldn't be fiberglass. Come on, man. So these are the Stargates. And all they doing is going back and forth through time. Back and forth through time. See the clock? An old watchmaker knows that this right here. No, that's not a computer chip. That's a clock. And if you go to another, this one is 40. So I'm assuming this is holy land. This is some sacred land before, like where all the pyramids were along the coast. For those who've been teaching about old world Florida, uh, so Cape Canaveral, I just realized also that Cape Canaveral is just them saying carnival all screwed up. I found out what Satria mean. So I'm gonna go over that. I went to Bard to help me out with this. Again, Bard's been trying to give me ways to deal and help me deal with this. That what I see that they're doing, and it seems like I'm the only one to see it, so I have to talk directly to and go directly through. Now I'm gonna play. If you listen to the liftoff in not in English but in English, especially if it's people throughout the community that are listening. If you listen to it in, just say your HOTC ear, uh, flipping the letters, the alchemy, if you listen to everything she's saying, it all sounds spiritual and it has a semiotic, symbological, symbiological, biological, biological casting from her voice. Let me go over some of what me and Bard was discussing. Bard and I. Let's go over what Bard and I was discussing. You know the San Francisco, not San Francisco. Oh, I can't think of it right now. I should have wrote it down. The CERN machine in wherever it is in California. I can, um, they have them over here too. They have them over here too. Now I'm gonna look into. This is gonna be what I'm gonna be doing the next week or two with artificial intelligence help. I'm gonna learn about more about the history of this land right here, and as much information as Google will allow me to get, because Google works so closely with Tesla and genetics programs and YouTube that it isn't even a half of us being shadow banned. It's the information that they allow us to receive. Said we're gonna allow them to receive this information, that information, and this information, and see it and work and look through the research on how they handle it. Or not they, y'all, is me, how I handle it. Okay, let me take it off of y'all. Okay, so these crystal towers right here that they saying and claiming are fiberglass. Now, this is where they be watching from. What is that made of to control the sonic boom? Close Explorer Tower. The landfills out here. How come this don't ever get flooded out and zone and and weather devastated and stuff, huh? What's going on over here that it's always, it might be a little rain, but you don't hear about no tornadoes and floods and hurricanes hitting Space Kennedy Center, Cape Canaveral. Like it skipped right on over with all this so-called, they to call them electrical conductor towers or whatever. Bull crap. Now these look older. These are older or for a different purpose. Let me look at the top of them. Harrison. See? There it is. I said something about that name not too long ago. I don't know if anybody remember the name over Mount MVP, the Mountain Valley Pipeline, which the pipeline is the service, the internet service, DevOps, the neural network. That's a watch, an old clock. Okay, Bard. Let me get the Bard. Climbing the stairway to heaven. Okay, this was earlier. We've been working on binary codes that are being uploaded through Teslas. But I read this earlier. I went over this earlier. The response that Bard gave me on what I can do to try to help or help them delay deployment of DevOps. So I started asking Bard, what is Satria? But it wasn't Satria that I was supposed to be asking him. It was Satria. So we went back and forth. I was like, this can't be what Satria mean. I'm looking at it. They wouldn't be using the Orishas. Hmm. That's what I assumed. I was like, no. And connected to Cuba because Elon and them ain't trying to get along with Cuba. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, I'm not asking about Santeria. So I'm feeling like Bard and Google already trying to shut me up. So I kept asking, and it kept explaining it's Santeria. And I was like, no, that can't be it. So then I asked about the etymology of sant, which, because I didn't have on my glasses and, whatever, it was the name of the vessel is not Santria, it's Satria. So I'm scanning through. So here, when I finally realized that I was saying the word wrong, um, I asked, what are the four towers around Satria rocket made of? So um, Bard says the four towers around Satria rocket are made of steel and fiberglass. They are each 160 feet tall. That's four towers, 160 feet tall, and 1,200 tons. 1,200 tons of fiberglass? Okay. The towers support the launch platform and the rocket itself. They also provide a place for spectators to watch the launches. The towers are designed by architectural firm Populous. Populous. And I'm going to write that down because once me and Bart come out of our session, sometimes they don't save the activity. So I know I'm going to look this up tomorrow. Populous. Or I could print it out, but it's best that I write it on my little pocket dictionary. So the architectural firm Populous or Papu, back to the Papa, Populos, designed those towers. They were built by construction company Samsung C&T. The towers were completed 2016. Satria rocket is a launch complex located in Sentul, Indonesia. So that's there. I didn't even realize because I asked Bart questions to come and share with you. And so this is about the Indonesia ones. So I need to ask him what are the ones at Cape Canaveral made of. But I don't believe the ones in Indonesia are fiberglass. I need to look and see how much heat can fiberglass withstand, even based on the thickness and the dimensions of it. The word Satria means knight or warrior in Indonesian language. It is derived from Sanskrit by Satria or Satria, which also means knight or warrior. In Sanskrit, Satria, that's S-A, Sa. Remember, I was speaking earlier about the Sa in the word blood, and the Tri, and the Ya, is also associated with the concept of Dharma. And I've heard that through none other than, I'm not going to say a name tonight, but y'all know. So Dharma or Dharma, Dharma, the dogma. Oh my goodness, it's still, even with the DHAR, it's the Dharma, which is a complex concept that can be translated as righteousness, duty, or virtue. In Indonesian culture, the word Satria is often used to refer to a brave and noble person. It can also be as a title of respect for a warrior or leader. The name Satria is also popular in Indonesia. It is a popular name for boys, and it is often given to children and who are expected to grow up and be brave and noble. Here are some examples of the word Satria used in Indonesia. Satria, this means brave knight or courageous warrior. Satria yang mulia, they go to Mu, the Mula, they go to Yang. Huh? This means noble knight or honorable warrior. Satria Penagak Dharma, this means knight who upholds Dharma or warrior who fights for justice. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions. That's Bard's response. What are the symbols and their meaning on the PSN Satria? So I zoomed in and looked at the symbols on the vessel, on the rocket. And all the symbols that I see here is not the one that I was focused on. The one that I started focusing on was the bat key symbol, the bot key. So when I typed in bot key, I'm going to skip down and tell you the results of bot key, and then I'm going to come back up. I Googled it, and then some designer comes up, millionaire, billionaire designer. I've never heard of her. Maybe y'all out there who like your money and name brands and stuff. I'm not big on name brands. And I'm looking and coming up with the Days of Our Lives, Young and Our Restless Conspiracy Theories. I was like, oh yeah, Elon having an affair with Nicole Bakti. Or maybe not her. And so I started looking into these two women, right? And I said, nah. Let me ask Bard. It's like, what is that Bakti sign? I know it has something to do with Indonesia, but that's too much. Is Elon trying to impress the designers? Every time he sent a rocket out, he only sending a rocket out to impress a woman or something. He's like, I got Twitter, but I got a rocket too, huh? And I'm going to put your symbol, your company on the side here just to let you know how much I love you. I can imagine him and his cockiness doing something like that, but that's too easy. That's too young and the restless in Days of Our Lives. So Bard said, no. I asked him, is he is he affiliated with Nicole Bakti? And Bard said, no. Elon is not affiliated. He know Elon real good, huh? Nicole Bakti is a software engineer at Google, not even a designer, nothing else that's in those little scripts and images on Google. Bard said, nope. That name that's on the side of the ship, she's a software engineer at Google. And she has no known connection to Elon. Okay, yeah, right. Okay. She don't have no connection to Elon. She must only have a connection to 23andMe and YouTube. He said, he said, there is no evidence they have ever met or worked together. The confusion may have arisen because Nicole Bakti is an Indonesian citizen and Elon Musk is interested in developing space exploration in Indonesia. Wait, space exploration in Indonesia? Space exploration in Indonesia, meaning every place that Elon is, he's doing space exploration in that state or city or country. Wherever Elon's spaceships are, that's where the space exploration is happening. Space right here on Earth. Oh, goodness. Look, I just imagine everybody's artistic creations that they place up on their stream yards and streams. I'm not going to say any names. Bard said it for you right here. I could screenshot it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to screenshot and put this and highlight that one little phrase right there. Okay? So let me start again. The confusion may have arisen because Nicole Bakti is an Indonesian citizen and Elon Musk is interested in developing space exploration in Indonesia. However, there's no indication that Nicole Bakti is involved in any of Elon Musk's space exploration projects. That sounds like he could be tipping out too on that part. He's like, here, Bakti, I'm interested in you. In conclusion, there is no evidence that Elon Musk is affiliated with Nicole Bakti. They are two different people with no known connection to each other. You know that much? Bard, artificial intelligence is able to tell you that much about people business. Oh goodness. Let me go ahead and play this space exploration from earlier today. Climbing the stairway to heaven. Yeah, SpaceX. What am I supposed to go to? SpaceX. Where are you in my subs, SpaceX? There you are. For those who will be hearing this tomorrow. It was live today, right? And it lasted how long? I'm not playing the whole 52 minutes.
Satellite-based telecommunication services remain the solution to reduce digital divide by connecting
Vehicle is supersonic.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed.
Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go for launch.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed.
Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for today's PSN Satria mission. My name is Ronnie Foreman, and today we'll be following Falcon 9 liftoff from Space Launch Complex 40 in Florida to take the Satria satellite to a geostationary transfer orbit. Although I'm joining you today from our headquarters in Hawthorne, California, our rocket and spacecraft, as you can see on your screen, are preparing for liftoff on the opposite side of the country. Right now, you're seeing a live view of our launch pad in Florida. As I mentioned earlier, our customer for this mission is PSN, which is an Indonesian company. If you're unfamiliar, Indonesia is located in Southeast Asia, surrounded by both the Indian and Pacific Ocean. It's also an archipelago, which means the country of Indonesia is comprised of more than 17,000 islands. Being an archipelagic country with mountainous topography means Indonesia is one of the world's most challenging territories for telecommunication infrastructure. Satellite-based telecommunication services remain the solution to reduce digital divide by connecting the challenging frontier and outermost areas with high-speed connectivity. Our payload today, Satria, will be a key part of Indonesia's digital infrastructure development with a 150 gigabits per second capacity supported by very high throughput satellite, or VHTS technology. That will not only promote digital equality, but also economic growth as it becomes increasingly pivotal in a post-pandemic economic recovery. Now at T-minus 9 minutes 34 seconds and counting, we're well into propellant loading on the vehicle today. Both the rocket and spacecraft are healthy and weather is green. Of course, the range is also standing ready to support a liftoff of 6:20. Telecommunication services remain the solution to reduce digital divide by connecting the challenging frontier and outermost areas with high-speed connectivity. Our payload today, Satria, will be a key part of Indonesia's digital infrastructure development, with a 150 gigabits per second capacity supported by very high throughput satellite, or VHTS technology. That will not only promote digital equality, but also economic growth as it becomes increasingly pivotal in a post-pandemic economic recovery. Now, at T-minus 9 minutes 34 seconds and counting, we're well into propellant loading on the vehicle today. Both the rocket and spacecraft are healthy, and weather is green. Of course, the range is also standing ready to support a liftoff of 6. We're well into propellant loading on the vehicle today. Both the rocket and spacecraft are healthy, and weather is green. Of course, the range is also standing ready to support a liftoff of second capacity supported by very high throughput satellite, or VHTS technology. That will not only promote digital equality, but also economic growth as it becomes increasingly pivotal in a post-pandemic economic recovery. Now, at T-minus 9 minutes 34 seconds and counting, we're well into propellant loading on the vehicle today. Both the rocket and spacecraft are healthy, and weather is green. Of course, the range is also standing ready to support a liftoff of 6:21 p.m. Eastern Time. But if for some reason we don't launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow.
Hey everyone, Soumya Srivastava here, joining Ronnie to guide you through the PSN Satria mission today. The rocket on your screen is Falcon 9 and gets its name from the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars and the 9 Merlin engines located at the very bottom of the vehicle. Standing at around 230 feet tall, Falcon 9 is loaded up with nearly 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen prior to liftoff and is able to transport payloads like today's satellite and people to various orbits in space. To top it off, Falcon 9 is also the world's first and only reusable orbital class rocket. The F9 rocket you see on screen is
See, I was talking and not being heard once again. I was saying, let me repeat, you might have heard them. I was saying the last rocket that blew up, that was the Rapture. It was 33 Raptors in that engine. This engine is dealing with the Merlin engine, so it's Merlin. He playing out scenes in history and scenes in the Bible just through the rockets. And each rocket had its own purpose. It's never been about a test. Tesla is not about the test part, but here.
Digital infrastructure development with a 150 gigabits per second capacity supported by very high throughput satellite.
Let me go further back where I kept repeating it, and you may not have heard what I was saying when she
This
made
topography means Indonesia is one of the world's most challenging territories. Are preparing for liftoff on the opposite side of the country. Right now, you're seeing a live view of our launch pad in Florida. As I mentioned earlier, our customer for this mission is PSN, which is an Indonesian company. If you're unfamiliar, Indonesia is located in Southeast Asia, surrounded by both the Indian and Pacific Ocean. It's also an archipelago, which means the country of Indonesia.
When I stopped here, this is when I was saying archipelago. I have a video last year where I kept focusing on the word archipelago. I kept focusing on it, and now I couldn't say it properly. So I had the computer saying it for me. Archipelago. I think I put it in a song or something. I think.
Indonesia is comprised of more than 17,000 islands.
It's in one of my shorts.
Being an archipelagic country with mountainous topography means Indonesia is one of the world's most challenging territories for telecommunication infrastructure. Satellite-based telecommunication services remain the solution to reduce digital divide by connecting the challenging frontier and outermost areas with high-speed connectivity. Our payload today, Satria, will be a key part of Indonesia's digital infrastructure development with a 150 gigabits per second capacity supported by very high throughput satellite or VHTS technology. That will not only promote digital equality, but also economic growth as it becomes increasingly pivotal in a post-pandemic economic recovery. Now at T-minus 9 minutes 34 seconds and counting, we're well into propellant loading on the vehicle today. Both the rocket.
Oh, the other stuff I was saying when somebody asks you, how is the weather? You tell them the weather is green. And then I start singing, give me the green light. So anybody comes up to you and say, how's the weather? You just smile and say the weather is green.
Rocket and spacecraft are healthy and weather is green. Of course, the range is also standing ready to support a liftoff of 6:21 p.m. Eastern Time. But if for some reason we don't launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow.
Ain't no way they was doing it on Juneteenth. The weather was coming though. You see how the weather had started building up. They gonna turn the camera one way, and this is the direction. And when I said, hey, we need some rain and storm, somebody was trying because it started building up fast, huh?
Hey everyone, Somya Srivastava here, joining Ronnie to guide you through the PSN Satria mission today. The rocket on your screen is Falcon 9 and gets its name from the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars and the 9 Merlin engines located at the very bottom of the vehicle.
So it's 9 Merlin engines. We had 33 Raptors on the last mission. This one is 9 Merlins.
At around 230 feet tall, Falcon 9 is loaded up with nearly 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen prior to liftoff and is able to transport payloads like today's satellite and people to various orbits in space. To top it off, Falcon 9 is also the world's first and only reusable orbital class rocket. The F9 rocket you see on screen is made up of 2 main stages. The first stage, or booster, which is the largest section towards the bottom, and the second stage, which will eventually take up our payload to its destination in space. You might be able to tell from the soot around the bottom that the first stage supporting today's launch has seen its fair share of space travel. That soot that you see all around the first stage is formed when the carbon-based fuel we use, RP1 kerosene, is burned. And as the booster approaches the landing site during descent, it does a long re-entry burn to slow down prior to re-entering the atmosphere. And because the re-entry occurs engines first, the booster flies through its own plume, which then deposits the soot onto the rocket. And if you watch the feed from the onboard camera during landing, you can see the soot sticking on the lens. Flying for a 12th time today, a few minutes after liftoff, we'll be attempting to recover the booster once again on our drone ship, a shortfall of Gravitas. And as mentioned, there are 9 M1D engines at the bottom of the booster that are used to accelerate the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere. Moving up, the first and second stages are connected by the inner stage, which has pneumatic pushers that allow stage separation during flight. The inner stage also houses the Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine, that's connected to the second stage. The Merlin engines at the bottom of the first stage and the MVAC are nearly identical, except the MVAC engine has a larger nozzle that allows the second stage to perform better in the vacuum of space. And we'll probably have some really great views of the MVAC and planet Earth.
Is speed of light, which one is faster? Let me ask Bard. Speed of light or speed of sound? speed of light. Of course, right? That's what they're going to say. Speed of light is speed of light faster than speed of sound. And what does Bard say? Yes, speed of light is much faster. But see, who measured this? Because in the beginning was the word, which was a sound, and that sound produced the light. Like I don't. All right, let me keep going.
After liftoff, so stay tuned for those. And at the very top, we have the payload fairing. The fairing's job
Engine
is
chill
to
has started.
The fairing's job is to protect the payload from aerothermal loads, heating, and contamination during ascent. Much like our first stage, we recover most fairing halves and use them again on future launches. The fairing halves supporting today's mission are also flight-proven, with one half flying for its 7th time and the other its 9th. Once we reach the vacuum of space, the fairing halves will separate, and we'll attempt to recover them again using our recovery vessel, Doug. Now, with liftoff in about 6.5 minutes from now, let's learn a little bit more about the mission at hand. And we'll attempt to recover them again using our recovery vessel, Doug. Now, with liftoff in about 6...
Dallas. What did that say? That said Dallas Alinas or Dallas. I don't know what the rest of the word is, but I'll figure it out. Alenia. That sounds like alpha thalassemia, right? A digital transparent processor featuring a new generation of digital transparent. He's sending transparent all to Indonesia and everything. Oh, I'm gonna get off of here. My head's starting to hurt. I'm gonna continue this tomorrow. Be ready for part 2. Because this Dallas, Alenia, and Dharma, and weather having a color. I didn't know weather had a color. Well, yeah, they show it on the scans on TV, but Google say you can now use the phrase when somebody asks you how's the weather, you can give them a color. And she said the weather is green. Okay. All right. I just saw the word digital transparent processor, and I tell you, I want to go to sleep right now. I want to just go on to sleep and stay asleep. Greater light. I appreciate the person who has been over here with me. Thank you for your presence and sharing and listening. And tomorrow I have be a little bit more excited sharing this information about these Stargates that Elon got all over the place. And I'm just assuming that he's sending a message to Nicole Bakti, trying to get her attention, or maybe not. Maybe not. Greater light. Let me close out with the song I opened up with. Educational purposes. I know that the OJs, they're not gonna come block it. If anybody block it, I have to go take it up and do it. Because this is for educational purposes. This is the educational purposes. Okay? And they shouldn't bother and take it down. Fair use. Such a long commercial.
Big.
I like that album cover, but I don't want to listen to it anymore. Good night.